Listen, I'll start with a story. Maybe the story most of you know, but the meaning is really you need to know. There was a time once, one great Rishi Narada, those days mass media, he was the only available mass media in those days. This guy gets a mango, enlightenment mango, and he goes to Kailash. Media always creates trouble, but this guy, whatever trouble he creates, it will always end in good. So he goes to Kailash and says, Mahadeva, I have a mango, enlightenment mango. Anybody eats this will have enlightenment. Mahadeva knows this fellow thoroughly. He said, I already have it, please leave me. And he tried slowly. Devi said, Devi, mango. She said, I already have it, please leave me. But these two small kids, they fell for him. The first one jumped, Ganesha. Shiva has two sons. The first son jumped and said, hey, I need, give me. And the second son, Subramanya, he also jumped and said, no, I need, come on, give me. So they two started fighting, and that is what media wants. When two people fight, their TRP goes up. Immediately this Narada says, oh Mahadeva, now what can I do? Both of your sons are fighting. Mahadeva said, all right, you started the problem. And finally, Mahadeva throws a competition. Whoever goes round the world 3 times, they get the mango. And this younger one has a flight peacock, which can fly. And this guy is a slim, tall, TDH, tall, dark and handsome. And this guy just got into his peacock and flew before even the decision was made, and he already started his journey. He is going round. And this elder one is a fat guy, and his vehicle is mouse. He is like elephant and his vehicle is mouse. What to do? But that guy is a bright guy. He just jumps up and goes around Mahadeva and Devi 3 times. Comes and asks, come on, give me the fruit. Mahadeva asks, what do you mean? You just went both of us round and asking for the fruit. Ganesha beautifully explains, he is going around his world, I went around my world. Understand? He is going around his world, I went around my world. Understand? Each one of us have our own world. Understand? This is the meaning, conclusion of the story. Each one of us have our own world. Whatever happens in the world doesn't affect us, but how my world perceives, that affects us. Please understand. All of us have two. One, the world, the fact, what is happening. My world, how you are perceiving it, how you are cognizing it, how you are experiencing it, how you are interpreting it, how you are digesting it. Listen. The world is the fact. This water bottle is here. This table is here. My world. How I see this water bottle, how I see this table, how I see this cup, how I perceive them. You can perceive Swamiji, even if he gets cough, he just sips little water and continues class. It's nice. He has a water bottle. You can perceive in any way. See, he drinks only bottled water. He sips tea in a quality cup, and see the teakwood table, and see the way his rolling chair. How you perceive. The world is same, my world differs. My world differs for each one of you. Understand? The world is same, but my world differs for each one of us. Please understand. There is a very important word you need to understand. I am introducing the toxic molds. Listen to this word, I will define. Toxic molds means once you perceive your husband or wife is purposely torturing you, does not want to live with you, once the toxic mold is prepared inside you by your my world perceptions, every time you come in contact with that person, you will be building toxic mental setup in you. Listen. Till today, from first day till today, we were working on various incompletions with yourself. Today we are going to work on various incompletions with others, through which you created toxic molds. Sometimes even remembering the person with whom you have a toxic mold, you will be in depression. How many of you understand what I am saying? Unfortunately, if you create this toxic mold with your father or mother, which most of us do, we continue to replicate the toxic mold in any man or woman we come across in our life. Please understand. Destroying these toxic molds, freeing yourself, is one of the greatest freedom a man can experience. Listen. This word toxic molds, first time I am introducing. The concept I have taught in many ways, in a different way. This word is the apt word, most apt word, which has 101 underlying meaning. Now, how many people we have in our life, that many toxic molds we have built. Anybody, the moment you remember, you feel complete. Those people, you don't have toxic mold. Other than that, everybody else, you have a toxic mold, and you do not relate with the real person, you relate only with the toxic mold. Get scratched, punched, beaten, abused. The toxic mold after some time becomes almost like a robo. Listen. Step by step I will explain. The world, the happening, actual happening, set of facts As I said, just this water bottle, teacup, table, chair and the cushion. My world, what all this creates in you. For some people, the moment you see all this high reverence, wow, what a blessed chair and cushion, it can always hold Swamiji's feet. It can always be next to him. Somebody can perceive like that, a devotee. For some people, he lives a comfortable life. The moment he turns, two people are there running and giving a coffee, giving a bottle of water. For some, see, he speaks about simple life, the morning satsang, but see the things he is using, things around him. For some people, yes, this is simple. What he is using is simple. So each one can have their own perception. Each one may have their own world, the my world. The world is a fact, my world is the perception. With every person in your life, when you create a strong my world opinion, that becomes toxic mold. When you create a toxic mold about your husband, you always see your husband only through this. Even by mistake, if he does some good, you know how to interpret and misinterpret. Or your father or mother or brother or son or daughter or whoever. This toxic mold which you created about each and every person in your life not only does not allow you to relate with them, goes on increases suffering and suffocation in your life. That is why even if you have so many people around you, you feel lonely. You have put yourself in prison. You locked it and threw the key out. And then you are crying, oh, what is this? What is happening? I have been put here. I am suffering. Life is suffering. How many of you understand this truth of the definition of toxic molds? Raise your hand. How many of you don't understand? Raise your hand. I will repeat. If you don't understand, I will repeat. So all of you got it? Shall I move to the next step? Can you project that? The world and my world. It is just a simple definition. The world and my world. The world is the actual happening. My world is your judgments, labels, ideas, opinions, notions, interpretations, beliefs, experiences, expectations, memories. I tell you, having completion with your mother and father is one of the most important step any person who wants to achieve anything in his life need to do. Please understand, having completion with your mother and father, because in all women you meet in your life, you will be projecting your mother. In all men you will meet in your life, you will be projecting your father. Please understand. In all men you will project your father. In all women you will project your mother. The good news I have is, because you had an incompletion earlier, you don't have to worry. The great news is completion can be brought now. It can be brought systematically as a science. I tell you, from my own experience, it is my completion with my mother That is the basic mold. That defined how I relate with all the women who are elder than me. Now Jnanatma knows my next statement. One of my classmates who studied with me, the amazing friendliness I radiated with her, or the experienced with her, that defined my attitude with all the women who are younger to me. Please understand, the completion you carry in your initial part of life, same way, my completion with my father, that radiates in all the relationships I have with men, all the men whom I see in my life. I can see that reflecting. I can see that completion. He set the attitude. The molds through which you relate, whether it is going to be a completion mold or the toxic mold, your completion with your mother and father decides. With your mother and father decides. It may be too subtle we never noticed, but the influence of the toxic mold you built, it may be for simple foolish reasons, that your dad did not send you to a school vacation, or your mom did not allow you to do something you wanted in a young age. All these can be very simple and silly, but the toxic molds it built in your system can be affecting you forever in your decision making process till you recognize them and complete them, till you recognize them and collapse them, till you recognize them and clear them. So I'll guide you into the process. Now I won't get into the story. If I get into the story, you guys may miss doing the process. First step, list all the relationships you have in your life. Start with your mother and father, yourself. That's the first. Yourself, relationship with yourself and your mother, your father, your brother, sister, the whole list. Whoever you remember, even if they are dead, they are no more part of your life. List all of them. List all those names and the relationship. Just the name and relationship means name and whether father or mother, whatever. List it. First, start with your mother. From the time you remember her, whatever incompletion you have, she might have told you to do something, told you not to do something, she would not have given something, whatever incompletion you have, pen down your incompletion. The world means, in that scene, what was the real fact? My world, how you perceived, write both separately. Please understand. For example, she told you, hey, don't eat ice cream. The world is, she told not to eat ice cream. My world, she can't stand if I am happy. She can't, whatever you perceived. She can't tolerate if I am enjoying myself. Or sometime even you will perceive in the other way, like, oh, she has so much of care about my health. But what now you perceive is not the thing. What you perceived at that time. How many of you understand? So first, list out with your mother. I mean, whatever incompletions. First with your mother. Then with your father. I think before all that, with yourself. All of you understand? The world is what exactly she said or she did. My world is your interpretation about that.
Okay. Thank you.
See, she would have raised her voice. That's the world. Told in little high-pitched voice. She shouted at me, screamed at me, is my world. All of you understand what I am saying? Yes.
How do we do the world about ourselves?
See, whenever you did not fulfill your own hopes, whenever you collapsed, what was the world and how you perceived it?